Hello, everybody. How are you this afternoon? It's been a little while since I've done a midday stream. I usually stream late at night, but I got the day off, so if you can hear me and if the audio sounds good, give me a dragon in chat, because it's dragon time. Okay. Is the music level decent? I'm still fiddling with different volumes and stuff. Dragon up. Yep, okay. Let's go ahead and just hop over. So, this is what we got. A lot of work to do, as you can see. This is what I've done. This is a commission for... Actually, you know what? I don't know if they want their username said, so I will leave them anonymous until otherwise said. But this is a commission for someone. Oh man, I should have got something to drink before I came up. So how's everybody this evening? Well, this afternoon. Good, I hope. This is my first time seeing you stream midday. Yeah, it's one of the first times I've ever done it, so there's a good reason for that. Where should I move to? I think this shoulder and this wing is what I'm going to be working on mostly. So this is going to be a very chill stream, very, probably not going to be talking to chat too much. I do kind of just want to, like, focus. I don't know, we'll see what happens. I don't want to say anything definitive. But this painting process does take a long time, so... And I get into zones. Get into the zone. We are listening to some Monster Hunter music from games right now. So I'm hoping that this is not copyrightable. But I guess we'll see. If I get a notification saying that it's copyrightable, then you know, we'll change it. Holy cannoli, how much was that worth? I don't know if I should say. Well, it's my commission. I'm the one getting paid for it, so I might as well say. This is a $200 commission. This is not one that I will take on super often because it is a lot of work. I've been already working on this for 3 separate days. But this person threw the idea at me, and I was in just the right mood to want to take a commission that's this level of detail. I haven't done it in a while. And they had the scratch, so I figured I would itch it. That's not a good analogy. It's a lot of, like, painting and repainting and going over everything over and over again. Especially because they wanted the scales to look metallic, which is... I'll probably have to go back in and add more reflections later, but I do want to get all the general shapes first. Oh, Keimer Drive. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oof. So, yeah, no, don't need to be sorry. Yeah, so this commission is for Keimer Drybones. They commissioned me. When Jack gets suggested or has a good idea, he puts out S-Class and 10-star. Gotcha game character. I mean, if you can throw an idea out at me for a commission that's like something super inspiring to me, you'll be sure to get S-Class talent from me. I think it's pretty evident. You know, obviously depending on my mood and how things change and what I'm in the mood to draw, if you manage to hit the right spot when requesting and asking for a commission, if I get super inspired by the piece itself, then it's a happy outcome for both of us because you get something super cool and I get to make something super cool. Is that how I did this on the other side? Yeah, basically. Did you get the chance to see the other Toby figures that got announced besides the one I showed you on Instagram? Yes, I did. I've been pretty up to date on a lot of the figures that have been showcased at like all the cons and all that stuff. I didn't pre-order any of them. I'm cutting myself off for pre-orders unless there's something like super crazy, gotta have it, right? Like, you know, if they announce a classic chameleon figure in Marvel Legends, I'll probably snag that. You know, that type of thing. Because that's a character that I've wanted for a long time. But elsewise, right now, like I don't collect Hot Toys. I don't collect 1/12 or 1/6 scale stuff. Although I did consider like trying to save up and find, because that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is really cool. But so I'm noticing a disparity, and so this is the thing, right? When you're dealing with black and white and like light levels, and this is the way I do these commissions. I do it all in black and white first, and then I do a color pass over top of it. You know, this entire area over here, this whole area is in shadow compared to this area over here. So then you get areas like this and this that don't line up value-wise, and it looks awkward, but I think from a distance you're not going to notice. Do you think Dr. Animo knows how to draw? Absolutely. He definitely makes blueprints. Because, like, every good scientist has a little bit of artistic knowledge. And every good artist has a good amount of scientific knowledge. Well, I'm not going to say every, but like some of the best, right? Like, you know, you look at the Leonardo da Vinci's of the world, and they're scientists and artists all in one. I mean, back when science and art were like being developed for the first time, the scientists and the artists were one and the same. There was no photography to be able to take pictures of things in the wild. So you had to be able to remember it and draw it either in the moment or remember it well enough to be able to recreate it so that you could create an accurate depiction of what it was actually like. If you saw a bird, you had to sketch it, because if you didn't get a sketch of it, you might never see it again. Okay, so this section of wing from here to here is going to probably be the darkest part of this entire image, similar to this. So we could have had an alternate universe where Jack is a geneticist. I mean, look, I don't think that alternate future is necessarily true, but it's not that far off. I am a huge science nerd, and if I enjoyed like regular classical schooling a bit more and got into science classes a bit more and like really hunkered down and tried to understand that stuff and really got into biology. Like I'm very much into biology and I've always been into animals, but the I didn't get the help that I needed in those science classes, so I didn't pursue. I felt the subject matter was too difficult and I wasn't being helped in the way that I felt like I really needed. Because, a teacher has to divide their attention amongst 30 kids. It's tough to give individual students the things they want and need. So I'm not putting anyone at fault other than the education system. But what I was getting at is that, like, if I had been nurtured in the fields of science in, earlier ages in high school and things, I could have gone to science for biology and gotten into a field of, like, doing biological sketches and doing artwork for textbooks and stuff, which is still something that I could pursue. Work alongside the scientists and say, hey, I need you to draw a diagram for a textbook for me. I'll commission you. It'd be that type of thing. God, I do not want to know how many brushstrokes are in this canvas at this point. No, I don't think that would have happened. What brush am I using? Flat round brush with I'm just using the regular oil paint flat round brush with the size of whatever I'm using, and then amount of paint 69%, density of paint 38%, so that it kind of blends a little bit, and that's about it. Just using a flat round brush. I've reconstructed the palm up here, and I need to do it up here as well. That's going to be a pain. And sometimes I'll create an extra multiply layer, and I'll go over with a little bit of gray just to darken some areas. Because you want to do it in multiply so that you don't change anything underneath of it. You're just making what's there darker. Oops. And then you always want to make sure to erase. It's been a while since I've done an edit. Is there any character that you want to be edited as? That I want to be edited as? Oh. I don't know. Oh, getting a phone call. Give me 1 second. I will mute my mic. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I know my little dude was moving. I did not forget to unmute my mic. That was my grandmother who called me, but VideoTube Mini was still picking up my microphone through that. It just wasn't playing through OBS. So, and watch. I know my grandma probably watches these streams. She's gonna. She watches this after the fact. Then hi, Grandma. If you're watching right now, love ya. This is what I was working on when we were just talking. How familiar am I with Yu-Gi-Oh? I know that the main character's name is Yu-Gi-Oh, or Yugi. I am about as familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh as not at all is a better way. I've not at all really like ever been into Yu-Gi-Oh, but I have a passing familiarity with it through Drawfee and through Karina's like talking about it. So I know a lot of the memes. I know of the like, you know, some of the main characters, but no, I don't know anything actually about it. And it's not something I'm necessarily really even wanting to get into either. It never really was for me because it was all about card game, and I had never played a single trading card game and understood it and enjoyed it. So. Sup, Lamo? I don't know. You tell me. Some big meaty fingers on this guy. I think I need to slow him down a little bit. All you need to know about Yu-Gi-Oh is that a rich kid tries to beat a pharaoh in a children's card game. Yeah, I've seen like certain little episodes of like the Yu-Gi-Oh abridged thing on YouTube by Little Grebo and all those. Like those are my real only familiarity with Yu-Gi-Oh. And I know my favorite. The only thing I know about some of the like other characters is Joey Wheeler and Baby Dragon. That's it. Because I did have a like figurine, like a little 1-inch figure of Baby Dragon when I was a kid. I think it was like a Burger King toy or something. I don't know. It was dumb. Joey Wheeler the GOAT. Yeah. Bridged is accurate. You're basically an expert then, Jack. I'm surprised he has a cousin in 5DS. I don't know what any of that. Those words don't make any sense. the third series, but they play the card games on motorcycles. It was edgy and the best one. I'm gonna have to watch that then. Jeez, playing card games on motorcycles. Wait, wouldn't the cards fly everywhere? It's like, yeah, let me pull out my Yu-Gi-Oh card, and you just go down the highway. It sounds ridiculous. Why is it called 5DS then if they're on motorcycles? What shouldn't it be called, like Yu-Gi-Oh motor game shock value? I don't know. Motocross contamination. Is the D supposed to sound for like dragons? I don't know. It's actually pronounced five Ds. 5D's nuts. Is it 5 dragons though? Okay, so if it is 5Ds, then does that mean there's how many D? What does the D stand for, and how many of them actually are there? Because I'm sure it's less. It's probably more than 5. 5 dragon signers? Signers? Yo, this don't make no sense. You're never gonna get through to me. But you know what? That's fine, because I could go off about Monster Hunter or like Spider-Man lore and shit too, so everybody's got their thing. You ever wanted to know how to make something detailed? Just draw a bunch of lines. Just so many lines. I think I am going to have to go to the kitchen and grab something to drink in a second, because my throat is really dry. Signers are a group of kids with a god dragon tattoo. Of course. How could I have... I mean, obviously. Alright. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab something to drink. Love this. There's a character named Jack at 5Ds. He's an Australian accent. He also plays... Oh, he also plays Giovanni from Pokemon. Okay, great. Don't ask me to do an Australian accent. I think I'm really good at it, but I know that I'm not. Can send you a picture of what. Yeah, sure. You know what? Make an edit of me as that character. But send me the original character first. Oh, you know what? So, y'all, I had that conversation with my grandma over the phone. My grandma's so sweet. She called to tell me that she was at Walmart or Target or something recently, and she was looking through the like posters that like those like flip poster things, and she saw one of like Marvel characters, and she thought of me. She didn't buy me anything, but she said like, oh, if you have a bunch of original characters that you own, why don't you make a poster with as many of them as possible? And I was like, yeah, I could do that, and I've tried to do that before. It took, I got worn out with it. And she said, oh, that would probably be something you could sell too to your fans. So I guess I should ask, would that be something that you guys would be interested in buying if I did all of my Ben 10 aliens? Or like, let's say the monster, the My Hero Academia aliens, right? From that series. Like if I did all of those aliens as a big poster and redrew them all, and I sold it as prints, would that be something you guys would be interested in buying? Oh man, this guy looks. What is his hair? Why is his hair? Is that his hair or is that a helmet? Wow. He's got an A on his belt too. Is it Action Jack? Is it quite literally his name is Action Jack? Change. Okay. If you're doing this edit, turn those two big spikes on his head into antenna, and then turn the A on his belt into this shape. Give him the true Action Jack logo. That was my first ever like logo design. Yes, I will. I need to go through all of the server again and find any fan art that I haven't saved yet, because I haven't saved fan art in a long time. And I need to go through and make sure I have every little bit of fan art, because I want to catalog it and keep it organized so that I can show my grandchildren someday or something. No, I really do appreciate every little bit of fan art, and I do want to put it in the like slideshows and stuff for streams, and I don't want to miss out on any of it, so. I recognize this one. Is this Monster Hunter Dun 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 dun. Astera has such a good theme. It does get a little annoying after a while, but it's very good. Bum, 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 bum. Oh yeah, Karina talking about 5Ds and Drawfee. Like I know I've probably heard about it through Drawfee. I just didn't remember. But yeah, like that's my only real exposure to Yu-Gi-Oh is through Drawfee. So. Alright, cool. Spike time. That melody is good background noise, fits the theme, and isn't distracting. Yeah, exactly. It's, this is the Astera theme from Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World has an amazing soundtrack. All the music from that game, I have an entire playlist saved of it for when I need to, like, do something intense. I actually use it a lot in D&D. Specifically, like, Valhazak's theme. Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to see if I can find it real quick. I don't know if I can get away with playing it on stream in its entirety, but let's see. Alright. Let's pause this and listen to this. Oh, hi, Irish Simmer. I'm great today. We're doing a little bit of a music theory right now. Valhazak's theme from Monster Hunter World. Good stuff. So that's about that. Um, yeah, Val Hazok's theme is really good for D&D, like Big Bad Evil Guy. Art tax will be at the end of the stream. I think I'm going to start doing it at the end of the stream from here on out, just so we can like end on a really good high note. Also, it's just nice to like over the entirety of the stream, I can remind people to post stuff, or if they have something that's like that they want to show me while they are like drawing along with me, they'll be able to post that, and I'll be able to see it right at the end. So that'll be a good time to do that stuff. Another Monster Hunter theme that I would love to showcase is Basilgoose. Basil Goose, Bagel Goose, the best one. Yeah, so Basil Goose's theme sounds like a military march. Because the monster itself is based on a bomber plane. It is this big, giant, dragon-looking wyvern that glides through the skies on these big albatross-looking wings, and it drops these exploding scales right on your head. So it quite literally is a, B-52 bomber. And there's even a mod that somebody made that makes it look like a B-52. So, it's really cool. And Basil Goose's theme is one of my favorite in the entire game, just because it's so like, it feels like a superhero theme and also a super villain theme, because he always comes and like ruins your hunt. He's like an invader monster, so like when you're hunting something else, he'll just come in and just bomb it. And it's great because he is the hero of his own story. He's the main character of the Basil Juice story. So, yeah, love Basil. My thoughts on Legend of Zelda. I appreciate it from a distance. I don't, similar to oh, there we go. Sorry, I thought the music stopped. Similar to a lot of Nintendo properties, I'm not like a hardcore fan of the like games. I've never really played the games, or I like the lore, but I've never played the games, if that makes sense. I like the story, I like the characters, I like the world. I am quote unquote a Zelda fan, but I have not played any of the Zelda games other than Breath of the Wild, which I played a little bit of, but I couldn't get into it. It just felt tedious. It felt too slow to get around the environment. So that's one of my problems with open world games. I love open world games, but sometimes they feel so big that it's not fun to traverse through them. And if there's nothing to do in between these like large areas of like open plains and stuff, which again is nice, I like that it's there, but I like games with interesting traversal. And Breath of the Wild has some of that. It's got like the gliding and climbing mechanics, which are fun. But that was the only thing I ended up doing in that game, was just climbing stuff. Just seeing where I could go. And eventually I got bored with that, because I wasn't, like, super invested in the story. But I have watched playthroughs of the story and have enjoyed it. It is just, like, the gameplay of Zelda itself is not something that's for me, I suppose. I don't know, it's hard to explain. I have an interesting relationship with Legend of Zelda games, because I've not really experienced them in any meaningful way. The U.S. military would weaponize the fuck out of that dragon. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, yeah. Of the stream works this time, so we can see the stuff on the stream. What? Justin, I think you are using voice to text. It's not doing you any favors, bud. I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll do the art tax, and I'll show everything on screen again at the end of the stream. So make sure to post everything if you are doing edits or drawing along or whatever with me. Go ahead and post that in the art tax, and we'll get there. How long have we been going? Let me guess. I bet we've been going for about 45 minutes, because I'm running out of steam. 50 minutes. Yep. That tends to happen. So with this type of artwork, I struggle actually quite a bit, because I get into these like really intense areas and then I finish something and then like it's a problem with ADHD that I have and then like it's a problem that I have with ADHD where my dopamine and serotonin, oxytocin, whatever responses are not right. They're not I'm not built right. So when I finish an area, it's like, oh, I'm done. And I don't get any like dopamine to start the next section. So then I get this like burnt out feeling, or this out of steam feeling, even though I know I have plenty of energy. So, and I've noticed that with this piece at least specifically, that those sections are about 45 minutes. And I don't know particularly why. So I'm just forcing myself to do this little armpit here to hope that I can get some dopamine out of it. We'll see what happens. Because I don't want to end the stream yet, obviously. I need medication for ADHD. My favorite quote from Unis Honest, and it's one that I use, well, that I will use every day once I actually get medication. But it's one that I think about every day. Is Ethan going, "Did you know that I'm on medication currently, and I think I need a higher dose?" Also, Unis Honest and just Ethan in general ruined my vocabulary. I will constantly go into that like silly speech mode that Ethan does. I don't want to do that. You know. I need to learn how to draw backgrounds. That's a tough one. Start with landscapes. Landscapes are piss easy, and I mean that quite literally. Like, put on some Bob Ross and just like try to kind of do whatever he does. Because landscapes are so organic by design that you can kind of do them with your eyes closed. At least, okay, I don't want to project, but I find landscapes very easy, and you don't need any knowledge of perspective. You don't need any because everything's so big that like as long as you have a general knowledge of like you know things get smaller as they go away from you, you'll be fine. Um, as for interiors though, or just like okay, in levels of difficulty, landscapes are the easiest. Then you have like outside cityscapes that are pretty difficult, but there's a lot of like shortcuts that you can take. Interiors though are the hardest. Um, so that's what I would recommend the order that you study them in. Or you could do it in reverse order and have a really like once you master an interior, then master an exterior, and then you go to do the super easy stuff. Then you'll feel really like relieved. I don't know. I'm a big fan of doing things in reverse order because it makes it easier as it goes rather than harder. Oh, we just getting some nice like background noise now. All right, let's turn this up. Waterfall. Oh, of course, and then it goes away. Just like how Grace ruined Ryan's vocabulary turning into a Canadian. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. That seems uh, unlikely, but very interesting. I'd like to learn more about that phenomenon because obviously, like, it did happen. I just want to know how. One of the stories I have yet to start take place in a city, and it's an action oriented. So buildings in perspective is what I actually need. Yeah, buildings in perspective are not fun, in my experience. In fact, they're quite the opposite. But you know, you'll get there. With Clip Studio Paint, there's so many brushes though. Of like, I don't know if you're making your comic in Clip Studio Paint, but there are a lot of like building brushes where you can just do a whole city skyline in one brushstroke, um, which is really interesting. And I think a lot of them are Japanese, like design wise, but yeah, I think you probably fudge the numbers on that. accent sponge. Some people can learn pronunciations extremely fast. Yeah, but I want to know, like, because I can also kind of, you know, do something similar. But my real question is, like, why that one stuck and why he can't seem to shake it. Because, you know, there is one accent that I do pretty consistently, and sometimes I will slip into it without realizing it, but it is super fun to do. It's actually one that I slip into pretty often when I get drunk, is doing the kind of Cockney accent. It's one that I practiced for in preparation for a D&D character, and then that character never quite got to be used yet. She's still on the backboard. So, yeah, Cockney is one of those accents that I can slip right into pretty easily. It may not be 100% accurate, but it works for, you know, my usages of it. I try to... One of the biggest struggles, and I think I may have said this before at one point, but one of the biggest struggles with doing the accent like this is getting the TH sound turned into the F sound. So, you know, if you say I threw the ball over there, you don't say threw, you say threw. I threw the ball. And the one thing I'm working on now for this accent is instead of saying bought, like I bought the apple, a lot of people will actually say brought with an R in there for basically no reason. So it's like, oh, I brought this the other day, and don't know why. It's kind of an interesting little dialect. A few days back, I completely reworked my alternate Ben Amatrix playlist, and it took a few hours. I hated doing it, but I'm so happy I did. I tend to sound Russian when I'm nervous. I'm not Russian. I have no clue how that works. Yeah, I cannot do a German accent to save my life, and it always switches to Russian. Same thing with Spanish accents. If I try to do a Latino accent of some kind, it tends to switch to Russian for no reason. And I think it's because of the rolling of the R. Because the Russian, you have a little bit of the rolling of the R, but you know, Spanish also have rolling of R, so it become a slight, you know, overlap, and then your brain get confused. Obviously, the accent I'm doing for Russia is very stereotypical and is probably offensive to somebody. So I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. Is the Hue Neutron Omnitrix still going? I don't have any plans for it, but like, it's not dead. I don't know. I'm really pleased with the way this hand is coming out so far. Can we hire Jack to do art for League of Legends or Raid Shadow Legends? If it's got Legends in the name, we need him on the team. No. I mean, I don't know. If somebody approached me and said, "Hey, I work for Raid Shadow Legends. I'd like to hire you to do some card art," I'd be like, maybe, sure. I wouldn't pass up a job opportunity like that. But this type of work is so tedious, and I really like. While I enjoy it, it is not something that I can enjoy for long periods of time. Fun fact, if you speak Italian with an American accent, you start sounding like a sim. Yeah, I've heard that. I don't know how to speak Italian, word-wise, but yes, if you speak anything with an Italian, or if you speak any language that's not English with an English accent, you tend to sound like a sim. The funniest thing that I still can't get out of my head is when I broke Ryan when I told him that Rex's brother sounds like a salad name. I don't know what that means. Oh, Caesar. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. Stretch. Get stretch. Everybody, if you're drawing at home, stretch. Stretch your hands. Is this supposed to be monochrome, or is it supposed to have color? The way that I do these commissions, the way that I do this art style is I draw everything in black and white first, so I can get all the values, so that I make sure that, oh, this is darker than this, and this is how the light would work. It's just simpler to keep everything in black and white to begin with, so that you can understand how it should be lit, and then you throw color on top of it, and because color is going to be a completely different layer, but it's a little bit broader, it's a little easier. Because then you have, like, for example, I'll show you what I mean. I'll do a color layer, and let's say I want this wing to be red. I can just throw red, well, maybe, if it'll load here. I can just throw red at this canvas, but see, there's an area here that's like lit differently, so what I can do here is I'll go into some pinks, and I'll color this slightly pinker, and then I'll go into the yellow, and I'll color this slightly yellower, maybe not quite like that, something like this, so we'll get this nice gradient, and it's just this, it's easier to do it all as like a soft brush, rather than try to go and, you know, do that stuff. You can also set it to overlay, and that does different stuff. So that's what I'll end up doing after the fact. Is like, if I don't know what color this thing is going to be yet, but I can go in and color it after the fact, and it just makes sense. It just works. It just works. So, yeah, that's how I'm going to color it. But I got to do all the black and white first, because I got to figure out how the light works. Hope that made sense. Good old multiply layer lets you shut your brain and only focus on the shading. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, the way, so I set that to color the first time, like literally the color, like the name of the layer type is called color. And then I also, after that I switched it to overlay. So, I don't know which is going to look better for this specifically. I'll have to play around with that, but either overlay or color should be able to help you do that type of stuff. But yeah, it's similar to a multiply layer. What is your headcanon for why Kenny was grounded from the Omnitrix in Omniverse? That's a good question. I don't know why he would be grounded. I mean, I don't know. Right, like, the only... It would probably be the equivalent of taking away a kid's phone. Right, like, we've shown that if Kenny is grounded or sent to a location and still has the Omnitrix, he can escape that location and go out and do, you know, superhero work or whatever. So grounding Kenny from the Omnitrix could just be a catch-all punishment, because there's literally no other one that will work. Logically speaking. So he could be grounded for any number of things. Is it okay? Forgive me if this is maybe offensive. I don't know. This music is kind of making me crave Chinese food. I know, like, I think this is Japanese oriented, whatever. But like, I kind of want to go get some takeout after this. I am pretty hungry. Is that bad? Is that offensive? I don't know. I love Chinese food. Chinese food isn't a bad thing. Isn't a bad thing. I hope that's what you mean. No, I mean it's just the music inspired me to want that food. I don't know, man. You always gotta tread on eggshells nowadays. I don't ever want to offend anybody. It's my like biggest fear on the internet nowadays is like not even getting canceled, just like the possibility of just offending someone for not knowing any better. Just vibing real hard with that flute music because it's a real banger. Yeah. I did turn it down a little bit, I'm sorry. What, that was the Yumiko Village theme. And this one now is called Splendid Life from Monster Hunter 2. Texted me. Literally nothing. It's just a freaking email. Spam email. Oh, I forgot to put the tatters. Okay, I gotta remember to put tatters. I'll just go ahead and blend this. Do you vote yay or nay that Kevin killed Technorg to gain access to the Gladiator? I mean, logically speaking, he knows how to beat Technorg. Like, he beat him in the arena. I don't know. I have my own headcanons, but I kind of want to keep them secret. I think it's entirely logical to assume that, but it is also entirely logical that Kevin also just got his butt whooped. I don't know. The dragon has 6 limbs and thus is an insect. It's got 4 wings, my guy. I don't even know. Hey, just because we don't have a taxonomy to describe the 6-limbed reptile doesn't mean that it's an insect. You know, you don't want to fall into the what was it, the featherless biped loophole, right? Isn't that the thing? It was like, I forget who it was. There was a philosopher back in like ancient Greece. It's like, oh, a bird can be described simply as a featherless biped. Or no, a man can be described as a featherless biped. Sorry. A man can be described as a featherless biped. And then some, like, awesome Chad, he was like, he plucked a chicken and took it into the lecture hall, and he's like, look, I present to you a man. And it's just like this chicken walking around with no feathers. It's like, you gotta be more specific than that. Is it Diogenes who did that? I don't remember. I think it was Diogenes. Technor just gave Kevin parent spanking and sent him to the prison corner. I would have loved to seen a version of Ben 10, like a what if story or whatever, where Technorg goes back to Earth with Ben. We also know, based on Omniverse, technically speaking, I think, that Slix Vigma survives or was revived at some point. Because he's in Omniverse, running the fighting ring or whatever, the fight club. So, you know, Technor, if Slix Vigma can survive in some way or another, then I think Technor should be allowed to live. I don't think he's too cool of a character to be killed off screen. Also, Technorg is huge, if I remember right. Like, size-wise alone, I know that Kevin and Forearms are both around the same size. I think Kevin's much wider than Forearms, but Forearms is, officially speaking, 12 feet tall. So if Forearms is 12 feet tall, and Kevin is the same size, and then Technorg is bigger than Kevin, like, Technorg's enormous. He's like 15 feet tall. I mean, Vilgax is also 15 feet tall, so like that kind of makes sense. But yes, behold him. Yeah, Diogenes. Hexaped. Yeah, I don't know. It's a. I would probably classify this if I had to. If I was a dragon scholar, and this is specifically designed to be a Monster Hunter monster, even though it breaks some of the rules of Monster Hunter. It actually breaks 2 rules of Monster Hunter. 4 wings and 2 heads, but that's fine. It is based on Monster Hunter creatures. If I were a scholar trying to define what this thing is, I would probably end up calling it a Great Worm, like WYRM, because it is unclassifiable by any other dragon standards. Other than, like, you know, Elder Dragon, Great Worm, whatever you want to call it. It's just special. Why is everybody afraid of Mauve Riedel? I don't know. Because the writers say so. I mean, it's probably the best option, right? That's the best answer to that question. I don't know. One thing I didn't realize about the one thing I didn't realize about the Breedles, is what I was trying to say, is that they established that they are clones in Alien Force Omniverse, or Alien Force UAF, whatever, not Omniverse. I thought that the clone thing didn't come up until Omniverse, but apparently it was said by Octagon that they were clones in one of the earlier episodes. I don't know if it was the first time they showed up or the second time or whatever, but we're what you call clones, or something like that. We might be in a bit of trouble here, boy. It's gonna hurt, I reckon. Yeah, I don't know why specifically this thing has 4 wings, other than the client said give it 4 wings. So maybe some kind of Hexland wyvern. Yeah, probably. I don't know how I would classify it any other way. Yeah. Maybe the client just thinks it's cool. Then the client chimes in. I'm gonna be honest, I just thought it was cool. Yeah, why not, right? I will say though, the hardest thing about drawing dragons is the wings. And so you made it doubly hard for me. That's okay. You know what Monster Hunter needs? You know what Monster Hunter would be really cool if they had? If they had a dragon, I don't know, a wyvern of some kind, a monster, that was based on a friggin' pterodactyl. More like, we have like T-Rex looking monsters in Monster Hunter, but we don't have any like other dinosaurs really. Like, we just have theropod looking ones. We need more like um Triceratops looking and like pterodactyl looking monsters. That would be cool to set apart, like a flying wyvern that is based on a pterodon. I think Barnos are similar, but they're so small. I want like a giant Barnos. Monster Hunter fans, you know what I mean. They stole Garnet's future sight. I'm hyped on that future prediction magic. What? Oh, okay, I understand. Oof, seems like I accidentally turned on hard mode for you. Let's be honest here. I convinced you to take this type of commission. I was like, ooh, I could do it in my normal Monster Hunter style with lines and make it easy for myself. Or, if you want to pay a little bit extra, I could go all out and make it really, really hard for myself, but give you like a dope-ass product in return. So like, let's not mince words here. I did this to myself. And I'm glad that I did, because I like doing this type of commission. It is just tedious. There's an overgrown dodo bird saurus who can pick up rocks. Oh yeah. No, there's Kulu Yaku. But I don't want, I mean, Kulu Yaku is cool and all, but I want like a pterodon. I want like a whole pterodactyl ass monster. I might actually design that eventually. I don't know, we'll see. I have too much going on. I'm gonna have to draw scales on the belly. So Jack is doing an art Nuzlocke. I mean, other than the fact that it's more difficult, I don't understand what would make this a Nuzlocke. Like, if I fuck up, I have to start over. Like, that's not. What would be the actual rules to an art Nuzlocke, to a drawing Nuzlocke? Imagine this was Ultimate Humongosaur. Don't get me wrong, I love Ultimate Humongosaur. But this would be cool too. I mean, this as Ultimate Humongosaur, I think, is a little ridiculous. I don't know why Humongosaur would turn into a dragon, but I see where you're going with it. I don't know why I like this just whole area so much. It's very like glossy looking. I did not do that intentionally. Technically, an art lock was created. Yeah. I know what an art lock is, right? Like, you have to draw every Pokemon and, like, you know, all that. But I'm talking about, like, what is the Nuzlocke equivalent of an art challenge? Because the rules of a Nuzlocke is, like, you have to name everything. You have to... If it faints, it's dead forever. And you can only catch one thing per region. But drawing doesn't really have any of those rules. So I don't know what the art equivalent of a Nuzlocke would be. I don't know. Trying to make it as easy on myself as possible, design-wise. Ben will ever retire after the Ben 10,000. I mean, I don't know, he's got a son. I feel like those month art challenges. Oh, yeah, well, yeah. A month-long drawing challenge is probably the closest thing to an art lock. Yeah, it would have to be something along those lines, right? What would be the other rules, though? If you miss a day, you're not allowed to post any art to make up for it or something? I don't know. If you miss a day, it's over. Do you think Rook will get obsessed with the Song of Footloose? Why would... You ask some of the most, like, arbitrary questions. I don't know. Why would... what is your logic behind that? Behind asking that question? Why do you think Rook... Yeah, I don't know. Why do you think Rook would get obsessed with Footloose? What reasoning do you have? It just seems goofy enough for him to like. Fair enough, I guess, yeah. Yeah, he probably would like it. I had. Did you use reference when making this research at all from your head? I had some reference of like the monsters that this is based on. Um, for example, oh, let me see if I can. It's got to save right now anyway. I gotta go pull up. Where is the reference? It's a big PNG. Waiting for it to load here. This is a good time to make the little reminder. If any of you have not joined the Discord yet, go ahead and go down the description and join the Discord. And when you're there, show me some of your art in the art tax chat, because at the end of the stream, I will go down through the art tax chat and we will show some of the art that we haven't shown yet. I'll share some of your art on stream. Okay, copy image. I'm imagining this thing is enormous. Yeah, it's pretty big. So much so that I think it crashed my Chrome. Oh, almost. Okay. How big did you make this file? Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's enormous. Come on, Chrome, you can do it. You can catch up, will ya? Let's go ahead and make this real small again. Okay, close that. Yes, I was trying to share the diagram. So we have bits and pieces from all these. We have like the Misetsune gills. We have like clawed metal wings, and then the tail head, and what else? Yunkaku leg structure and wings on normal arms. Obviously, I'm mixing together a bunch of stuff. I'm not looking at these specific pieces for exact reference, but, you know, I'm using my imagination to push it all together. We have Zinogre hair and spikes. I'm not sure if you meant like these spikes or the spikes on the... I don't know. Gormagala-esque wings with claw hands. Yeah. So, that's what we're doing. I feel like asking that question was a mistake on my breakcheck CC. No, it's just Chrome that's garbage. Yes, those are all from Monster Hunter. So they've all combined to make this creature, which honestly I feel like I could have pushed the proportions of a little bit more. And I might go back and tweak some more things, but I'll do all the tweaks once I get everything rendered, because then it'll be way easier to do all the tweaks. Because I can go in with like the liquefy tool and go in with liquefy and just like push some stuff around, you know? I feel like it's absurd that Zinogre is a wolf. He's not a wolf. He is a wyvern that happens to look like a wolf. He is technically classified as a fanged wyvern. He just happens to look very wolf-like. And act... Well, he doesn't even really act like a wolf, really. Like... Excuse me, Clip Studio? What are you doing? There we go. Yeah, like, other than the fact that he howls, he really doesn't do many other wolf-like things. So is this a fusion, or is it a dragon inspired from all those Monster Hunter monsters? It is kind of both. It's kind of a fusion and a inspiration of all of them. It's like a DNA fused clone that is its own creature, I guess. I don't know. Do you watch subjectively? Yes. Every once in a while. I don't watch everything, though I do try to. I think that Jack on there has some really good, like, knowledge, and I love all of the things he does. Love his art style. And there are certain things about his art style that I wish to emulate. Why does this one sound like it's... this song. It sounds like it's straight out of an old, like, Disney movie. It's like a sad... It's giving me... Weirdly enough, it's giving me Fox and the Hound vibes. I don't know if y'all have seen that old Disney movie, but it's one that I always used to watch a lot. And for some reason, this specific song is giving me Fox and the Hound. If you turn it up a little bit, I can barely hear it. What? Hey, Chrome, can you... Uh-oh. Well, I don't think I can. I think my computer is broken. Yeah, I think my computer is actually, like, legitimately broken. Ooh. Google Chrome has taken up a lot of memory. Oh, okay. There, it finally updated. There we go. Whew. Pixar's up 5. A little bit, yeah. I opened up my task manager just to see, like, what was up. Chrome is taking up 1,000 megabits, and Clip Studio Paint is taking up 800 megabits. And Discord's also doing a lot. So, we'll see. Yeah, I really need to get into Opera GX or whatever it was called, because yeah, Chrome is hungry. I mean, I only had 3 tabs up. Now I only have 2. I closed one of them. Yeah, I'll have to get that for streaming because I need as much RAM as possible. I also think I just need to get more RAM I need more gigarams for my poot poot. If y'all get that reference, good job. I don't think anybody's gonna get that reference, but I do need more gigarams for my poot poot. Because I only got, I think, like 8 gigs. Now I need to do 2 edits of Upchuck and Guzzlord as each other. Guzzlord in Upchuck's color scheme could be pretty cool, and I think Upchuck in Guzzlord's color scheme could also be very cool, so I'm interested to see how those turn out. Also, Guzzlord is also just a good alternate name for Upchuck if you're doing something that's like, you know. No. So, more gigarams for my poot poot is a reference that was from either Hermitcraft Season 1 or Mindcrack. Like Season 1, early Mindcrack days. And it was... I don't know if it was Vintage Beef or if it was... oh, I can't remember who it was. But there was just one episode that I was watching, and Minecraft was chugging. He's like, oh man, I need more gigarams for my poot poot. It's just one of those, you know, old classic Minecraft streamers. Or Minecraft YouTubers even. I think everybody instinctively thinks Upchuck can't consume pizza, but if you look at the episode, it was eating too much beforehand and Upchuck maybe got. I don't know. We talked about this last stream, I think. I think it was just my headcanon is that perks are texture eaters and they can eat anything except for food that's like quote-unquote human food or whatever because it's like too mushy or something. And he just didn't like the, texture or the flavor or the whatever of it. Then the perks are the ones who cook and they can actually eat whatever. But they maybe struggle with things that are less flavorful. I don't know. If you're trying to make all the lore consistent. But in reality, it was just the writers saying like, "Oh, wouldn't it be funny if Upchuck can't eat human food?" And then that lore was thrown out the window when they made the different version of Upchuck, and they were like, "Haha, wouldn't it be funny if we had an episode about food because Upchuck eats things?" That's what it was, really. Like, if you want to get down to the nitty-gritty of it, it's just the writers changing their minds. I'm talking about Upchuck every stream. Yeah, I don't know why. Oh, man. How long have we been going for? Almost 2 hours. Man, I want to do another portion of this guy, but I hit that thing, right? I hit the wall of dopamine, like, oh, I don't want to start on the next section because I know it's going to take a long time. That thing. I just hit that again, and I'm like, man, I don't want to start on the next thing, but also, I don't want to end the stream yet. I don't know. Let's take a little bit of a break. Put down my pen. I'm going to turn the music down just a little bit. Because we're going to do art tax now. Might as well. So let me pull up. Let me just pull this up. And switch over to... There we go. So this is by Elemental God, Ben 10 art. Did a couple of different ones. He's pretty good. I like whatever these arms are. One thing that I think could make this piece in general a little better, if you want criticism, is the sharpness of all the characters is... Like, this guy's very blurry because I think you probably drew him very small and then made him bigger. And, like, this guy here is very sharp because I'm assuming you drew him larger and scaled him down. So the larger you can draw something, the better, because if you scale it down, then it doesn't get as blurry. But if then you scale something back up, a good way to make something blurry is to scale it really small down and then hit enter and then scale it back up, and that'll make it really blurry. So that's just one way that you can maybe improve the composition of this and make everything a little bit more clear. Because like this guy's super sharp, this guy's super sharp, this guy is super sharp, but everything else seems a little blurry. This guy in the back is very blurry, and that may be intentional. I don't know. So good stuff. We have Dragon by Donnie K9, said related to the stream. So this is a very cool dragon. It reminds me, the style of the head specifically, and maybe I'm misremembering. Style of the head reminds me a little bit of what is it, the Dragon Riders show? But that's, yeah, obviously I don't want to do the free thinker moment of like, oh, this looks like this. But this looks really nice. I love the color palette. I love like the energy wings, and the feet are very interesting too. Very cool. Very, very cool. I like this guy a lot. I would love to fight this thing in Monster Hunter. Are you kidding me? This would be an awesome thunder element dragon or something. me as, I guess, Atlas from from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D. Or Jack Atlas or whatever, yeah. And then from Poobroo, we have Josuke Higashikata? Higashikata? Is that how I pronounce that? From Jojo Lion. I love your pixel art shit, dude. This is so cool. I'm gonna have to commission you to do some pixel art of something for me one day, because this is really cool. So, yeah, good stuff. Let me go ahead and just close all these. And we'll hop back to art. Yeah. If there's anything else anybody wants to show, go ahead and do that now. Send it to the art tax while I run to the restroom. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. And then when I get back, we'll decide. I probably will end the stream, not gonna lie, but I'll be right back. But yeah, if you have any more art to share, send it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and write in white layer. There we go. All right, I'll be right back. Looks like we do have some more art. That's good. I will go ahead and share this, and then we will... Yeah, we'll probably end the stream. What? Let's see, what do we got? Deep dish. She's cute. I like her a lot. There we go. Transformer pizza scooter. She's cute. I really like that design a lot. We have this from a Room Full of Vampire. Is that what your new name on Discord is? Okay. I think this is Justin, right? Justin Dowse. And then from Donnie, again, we have Ghost Burb in the Ghost Zone. It's a phoenix? I don't know. I like it though. I like the foreground with the flaming feathers and the... Yeah. Cool. Good stuff. Excellent, excellent work, everybody. Very proud of you. Sometime in the future, I don't know if it'll be the near future, I would love to do a, like, draw along art class type of stream where we all do like a study, we work on the same thing, and then at the end of the stream I share everything that you guys have created, right? So I guess in what chat should it be on the Discord? In the slime pit, in Jack's stuff. In the slime pit, post suggestions on things that you would like to study, and if I like your suggestion, I will do a study on it myself, and we will kind of all draw together, and we can all share our stuff together at the end of the stream. I think that'll be a good, fun way to do that. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about that idea, because I think it was an interesting one that I had the other day. So, that all being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. It is very hot in the attic. I'd like to get the AC back on. Plus, I think this is a good amount of work for today. I worked for a good 2 hours on this. I might work another 2 hours on it later. So, I think we got some good work done today. I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with me. And in the meantime, I will see you next stream. Peace. Goodbye. Goodbye. Have a great night, everybody. Enjoy your evenings.